Clark knows what she's dealing with, and she's a grown woman.
Yep.
Caitlin Clark, obviously a huge story and the controversy around it. And I was thinking I was pretty hard on the WNBA when Caitlin Clark came in.
Stop taping up like this is like, what do you expect everyone to do?
Caitlin Clark being that golden goose per se, that rising tide that's lifting all boats. There's also resentment towards her because she instigates resentment towards her sometimes.
All the craziness around Caitlin Clark. And he kind of, I think, got it right. And I like Stephen A. He's been here. I consider him a friend.
Clearly, when it comes to Caitlin Clark, there's some resentment, as I've articulated before.
It started as just another routine play until Caitlin Clark hit the floor and Marina Mabrey got hit with a technical. Tensions were already high, the game intense, and then came the commentary that shifted everything. People expected support for Caitlin. Instead, Stephen A. Smith stunned everyone by saying she brought it on herself. Why? Because of how she carries herself, the confidence, the swagger, the way she lets defenders know when she drills a shot in their face. In his view, if you act like the toughest player on the floor, you better be ready for whatever comes with it.
She talks trash. She lets you know when she's putting it in your eye. She walks around the floor, whether it's with the referees, whether it's with the opponent, whether it's with anybody, as if she's the baddest woman on the planet, if not on the court.
This can't be happening. After everything Caitlin Clark has dealt with, the shoves, elbows, blindsides, and constant targeting, Stephen A. Smith goes on national TV and blames her. Not the defenders throwing cheap shots, not the officials who let it go, not the league that continues to stay silent. No, Stephen A. shifted the blame onto Caitlin herself, said she asked for it, said Marina Mabrey's hit was her own doing. All because she plays hard, shows confidence, and isn't afraid to talk a little trash.
Caitlin Clark being that golden goose per se, that rising tide that's lifting all boats. I stand by my past proclamations that there's resentment towards her because of that. But I want to take it a step further. There's also resentment towards her because she instigates resentment towards her sometimes. Oh, Caitlin can clap at you now.
Yes.
Caitlin can antagonize you now.
But since when is confidence a crime? Since when does a little swagger mean you deserve to be attacked? If this were happening in a men's league, this wouldn't even be a discussion. And that's exactly why people are so outraged. Stephen A. is one of the loudest voices in sports, and this time, he might have just dropped his worst take of the season.
They're trying to justify that Caitlin getting poked in the eye and blindsided is okay. That's a part of the game. Fam, that is not a part of the game. I literally watched y'all last year demolish Draymond Green for all the stuff he was doing in the NBA. Okay? I watched y'all do this. Watched y'all. Him choking, him turn around and slapping players. Williams got on there. Mad Dog got on there. Both of them were dogging Draymond Green for that and for acting like nothing is wrong with what he was doing.
Fever guard Sophie Cunningham, known for her tough, no-nonsense game, saw an opening on a fast break and took it. She wrapped up her defender midair, sending her crashing to the floor. Benches cleared. Players got in each other's faces. In seconds, the arena went from loud to electric. And right in the middle of the chaos, Caitlin Clark. Once again, she's no stranger to this kind of physical play, and it's clear it won't stop anytime soon. But this moment wasn't just about the contact. It was about the growing story around her. The target on her back is getting bigger.
I like how she tried to slap her and get away, though.
Oh, yeah.
Caitlin, look how she gets slapped, but she gonna push her and try to, like, push her and run. Nah.
Ooh. Okay,
on her ass.
You on, cuz?
Don't push me.
Maybe said, boom. That can't happen. That cannot happen. Tina said, no, I ain't got no time for this. I'm not trying to be on SportsCenter all week.
Tina Charles, you're a real one.
Yeah, you smart.
She said, nah, I know the vibes.
Buy your mama a house. You smart.
Yeah, let's show the retaliation. Shout out to Sophie Cunningham. Real teammate. We on a break with it.
Come here.
Yeah, what's up?
It was meant to be just another regular season game, but what unfolded on that court sparked a storm of controversy still rippling through the league. The Indiana Fever were locked in, playing with pace and control. Caitlin Clark was doing what she does best, hitting deep threes, pushing the tempo, leading the way. But in the third quarter, the momentum shifted. J.C. Sheldon reached in after the whistle and caught Caitlin right in the eye. A foul, sure. With just under a minute left on the clock, things erupted again.
Clark and J.C. Sheldon have been competing against each other at Ohio State and Iowa, respectively, for years in the Big Ten.
It began like so many games this season. Caitlin Clark stepped on the court with a target already on her back. The Indiana Fever were up against the Chicago Sky, and things escalated fast. What started as competition quickly turned into confrontation. And once again, right in the middle of it all, was Caitlin Clark. Marina Mabrey wasn't just defending, she came in with intent. While Caitlin tried to navigate the offense, Marina blindsided her. A hard hit, contact to the face, no play on the ball, no warning, just a blatant shot. The confusion, frustration, and disbelief on Caitlin's face said it all. And once again, the debate reignited. Is this just tough basketball, or is there something deeper going on?
Watch when Caitlin Clark is trying to create some space. It looked like she just got hit in the eye there.
Ooh, and Marina Mabrey. I missed that one, Edona.
Oh, I missed that one too.
All the craziness around Caitlin Clark. And he kind of, I think, got it right. And I like Stephen A. He's been here. I consider him a friend. But then he had a but in his sentence that I think changes the attitude of this a little bit. Take a look.
The replay said it all. Caitlin wasn't provoking anyone. No trash talk, no antics, just moving through a screen when she took a forearm to the face. And what made it worse? This wasn't new, not even close. Game after game, team after team, Caitlin Clark has been shoved, elbowed, hit, and pushed. From behind, after the whistle, even nowhere near the play. It's become a clear pattern, and fans are fed up. Social media lit up, analysts chimed in, and then Stephen A. Smith grabbed the mic.
That fighting does not belong in the game. And then they're trying to justify that Caitlin getting poked in the eye and blindsided is okay. That's a part of the game. Fam, that is not a part of the game. I literally watched y'all last year demolish Draymond Green for all the stuff he was doing in the NBA.
In classic Stephen A. fashion, he didn't hold back. He dove straight in and said what many weren't ready to hear. Caitlin Clark isn't just being targeted, she might be part of the reason why. According to him, this isn't just about dirty player jealousy. It's about how Caitlin carries herself. The attitude, the confidence, the trash talk, the swagger when she drills a logo three and walks away before it even falls. Stephen A. argued that Caitlin draws this heat not because she's wrong, but because she's dominant and unapologetic about it.
And he kind of, I think, got it right. And I like Stephen A. He's been here. I consider him a friend. But then he had a but in his sentence that I think changes the attitude of this a little bit. Take a look.
Clearly, when it comes to Caitlin Clark, there's some resentment, as I've articulated before. What people are missing, Monica, is I have no problem with it whatsoever. Oh. Okay, yes, there's resentment because, first of all, you're absolutely right. This is much ado about nothing. In the heat of competition, tempers flare. You know, last time I checked, women got tempers just like men do. Ain't no problem. Ain't no problem at all. Ain't no big deal at all. I love it personally. Now, here's the thing about it, because I want to make sure everybody understands what I'm about to say. Caitlin Clark being that golden goose per se, that rising tide that's lifting all boats. I stand by my past proclamations that there's resentment towards her because of that. But I want to take it a step further.
When Stephen A. Smith took the mic on First Take, most expected passion, maybe even outrage over what happened to Caitlin Clark. But what they got instead was a twist so sharp, it flipped the whole conversation. Stephen A. didn't defend Caitlin. He didn't call out Marina Mabrey for the hit. He didn't urge the league to protect one of its rising stars. Instead, he went a completely different route. He said the quiet part out loud. There's resentment toward Caitlin Clark, and I don't have a problem with it.
Stephen A. Smith went on and was discussing just all the craziness around Caitlin Clark. And he kind of, I think, got it right. And I like Stephen A. He's been here. I consider him a friend. But then he had a but in his sentence that I think changes the attitude of this a little bit. Take a look.
Why? Because Caitlin waves in people's faces. Because she talks smack. Because she's fiery and competitive, just like the greats before her. Stephen A. even compared her to Larry Bird, calling her a trash-talking assassin who would tell defenders the shot he was about to take and then bury it. In his view, Caitlin Clark is no different. And because of that, he says she brings the heat on herself. But this is where things got even more controversial. Stephen A. didn't just explain the resentment, he justified it. He suggested Caitlin deserved the hits, that her attitude, her swagger, her presence earned her the bruises.
Caitlin Clark being that golden goose per se, that rising tide that's lifting all boats. I stand by my past proclamations that there's resentment towards her because of that. But I want to take it a step further. There's also resentment towards her because she instigates resentment towards her sometimes. Oh, Caitlin can clap at you now. Yes. Caitlin can antagonize you now. Remember in college, doggy, Eminem, the whole Angel Reese thing with her started because when Caitlin was giving it to everybody else, she was the one waving in their face. And that's why when Angel Reese and LSU got a hold of her, Angel Reese was like, yeah, it's your turn. That's where it came from. It was instigated by Caitlin Clark.
That take landed like a grenade. Instantly, fans were split. Some agreed she talks big, so of course players are going to test her. Others were outraged, accusing Stephen A. of victim blaming and ignoring the nonstop fouls and escalating physicality Caitlin's faced from the start. But no matter where you fall, one thing's undeniable. Stephen A. didn't just join the conversation, he flipped it on its head.
You see her, you see a little shove here and there, you see her throwing a little elbow here and there, you see her talking smack. Caitlin Clark does this. So, on top of the fact that she can play, because the girl's a shooter, and she's an assist maven as well, leading the league in assists and stuff like that. She's special, 4th in league MVP honors last year, Rookie of the Year. But she's also somebody, doggy, you will appreciate this.
Caitlin Clark didn't ease into the WNBA, she kicked the door open. From her very first game, the spotlight was blinding. The media crowned her the face of the league before she'd even finished a quarter. Fans packed arenas. TV ratings surged. She wasn't just a rookie, she was a phenomenon. But with all that spotlight came shadows, and now we're seeing them close in. On the court, Caitlin doesn't hold back. She talks.
Caitlin Clark knows what she's dealing with, and she's a grown woman.
Yeah.
You stop caping up like this is like, what do you expect everyone to do? Here's my frustration with this competition situation. So you expect people who have a problem with this, who are like putting on their robes for Caitlin, which by the way she never asked for, and
exactly.
probably hates,
and doesn't complain
about it.
Stephen A. didn't just explain the resentment, he justified it. He essentially said Caitlin Clark deserved the hits, that her attitude, her gestures, her presence earned her the bruises. Even as Marina Mabrey came in swinging, Stephen A. stood his ground. She got a comeuppance, he said, and she was big enough to embrace it.
There's also resentment towards her because she instigates resentment towards her sometimes. Oh, Caitlin can clap at you now. Yes. Caitlin can antagonize you now. Remember in college, doggy, Eminem, the whole Angel Reese thing with her started because when Caitlin was giving it to everybody else, she was the one waving in their face. And that's why when Angel Reese and LSU got a hold of her, Angel Reese was like, yeah, it's your turn. That's where it came from. It was instigated by Caitlin Clark. She got a comeuppance, and she was big enough to embrace it and accept it and say, yo, I deserve it. It was my turn.
Players aren't just going up against Caitlin Clark, the athlete. They're facing the hype, the headlines, the marketing machine that's made her the face of every conversation. And while that's not Caitlin's fault, for many veterans, it doesn't matter. All they see is a rookie who's been crowned before she's earned it. So when someone steps onto your court with that kind of spotlight, you test them, and you test them hard. But here's the thing, Caitlin's not flinching.
Here's another thing that's awesome. This is only going to make Caitlin better and tougher and stronger.
Yes.
That's great. The fact that it is hard and that, because the idea, because some of Caitlin's, like there is a real lunatic fringe on the internet about this conversation. And I hate doing in life, I don't actually really think both sides are a problem very often. In the Caitlin Clark thing, it is both sides. It is people on both ends of the spectrum are out of their minds. And the biggest Caitlin fans are like, the league. This is the league's cash cow, And if they're not suspending these other players, she could get hurt. Like, give me a break. It was a light shove. She fell down. She's going to be fine. The Fever are going to be in big games for a long time.
So let's get this straight. Caitlin Clark gets blindsided on the court. Again. And Stephen A. Smith? He blames her. Says she brought it on herself. Says it's her fault for being confident, competitive, and too good. But if trash talk has always been part of the game, then why is Caitlin being treated like she crossed some invisible line? Why is the victim suddenly being painted as the villain? You tell us, was Stephen A. completely off base, or is there some truth in what he said?
She gotta bring the turnovers down. I was watching a little bit of this game. She get her turnovers down, she'll be all right.
All the craziness around Caitlin Clark. Stephen A. Smith went on and was discussing just the...
Caitlin Clark knows what she's dealing with, and she's a grown woman.
Yeah.
So for you to keep running with this narrative that, oh, she deserves it, she instigates all this stuff to happen to her. Stop it, fam. No, she don't.
Why is Stephen A. Smith putting the blame on her? Is Caitlin Clark really provoking the fire or just thriving in it? One thing's certain. Love her or hate her, she's at the center of the storm, and she's not backing down. So what do you think? Did Stephen A. get it right, or did he completely miss the mark? Let us know in the comments, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more WNBA drama and highlights, because this story, it's only just beginning.